Coach Addy was your defensive coordinator last year, so I mean it wasn't a huge change, but it was a shakeup this past week. Him taking over the defensive coordinator duties, Ted Roof moving on. So what was the week of practice like before you got to the space game, and what was it like when you got out there and actually had that kind of big time performance?
Definitely the week of practice we spent it kind of just going back to like an Addy type practice, just really focusing on small details and just playing free. And I mean, it showed up on Saturday.
So how did the guys just kind of respond to the news? I mean, I know it wasn't like a huge change because Addy was your defensive coordinator a year ago, but how did the guys respond to that?
I mean, everybody definitely like we were shocked, definitely. But I mean, we love Addy, Coach Addy's, and we just rallied behind him. And like all our faith is in Coach Addy, and we went out there and dominated.
Ricky, did you guys notice a change in Coach Addy? I mean, he's been around the program, obviously, but from last year being a defensive coordinator to this game, did you notice, did he do anything a little differently maybe, or was there maybe a different change in how he was doing things?
Definitely, he has a chip on his shoulder, from like coming off of last year to, this year, getting the job, last week. I mean, we definitely saw the chip on his shoulder, and it was a tough week of practice, and then we went out and we dominated the game.
Did that fire you guys up?
100%.
I mean, for all the changes we're talking about dealing with Coach Addison, there's been some stuff on the field too lately. The past few weeks, Dalen Dotson's gotten more involved, getting kicked outside orders, natural position on the edge. How helpful has he been? We talked about you facing a guy one-on-one across from you when they're tired. How helpful is it to have him to make sure your target can't escape now when you're getting in there?
Dalen Dotson is a dog. I said that last week, but I'm gonna say it again. He's a dog. I mean, and like you say, he moved back to DN and he's disruptive. He's everywhere in the field, and I mean, having him out there keeps the quarterback in the pocket better. And I mean, I've benefited from it.
When you said the teams played more freely, what changed to allow that?
Just the play calling, just letting the D-line go. I mean, yeah.
Arizona State has a very high-powered offense, strong, one of the best running backs in college football. So how do you guys plan to what have you seen from their offense?
Well, we've been watching some of their film today. Definitely have a strong goal line. They're big up front, but then they got a running back that just makes everything go. He's explosive, and if you don't tackle him, he'll make you pay.
So you got the space loophole on your stats, and the record that UCF produced in space games kind of speaks for itself. But is there kind of a feeling you guys have during those games in that week, and how would you kind of describe the way that those games have played out over the years?
I mean, for me, I personally approach every game the same. I don't make a different game too big than whatever it is, but I mean, we just space game. We always want the space game. I don't know why that is, but let's keep it up.
I know last year a lot of the D-line said they had more freedom under Coach Addison to do what they want. What did that freedom help you with this?
It helped us really just get to the quarterback. We had what 4 sacks. Yeah, we were just able to get to the quarterback. Just do the play calling.
Just kind of building on that over the last 3-4 weeks. You guys have been getting the quarterback a lot more, getting more pressure, getting more sacks. What has clicked on that front to get there? I know a lot was made with Coach Roof about blitzing more and trying to get more pressure. But what's clicked to finally kind of get home on that kind of?
Just truly putting faith in the D-line, just knowing that we can get there, and just really making an emphasis in practice to, if we not gonna blitz as much, y'all got to get there. And I mean, we've been doing it.
Ricky, Coach said that there wouldn't be too many drastic changes made, even with the change at coordinator, but what would you say is the biggest difference that you noticed between Coach Roof and Coach Addison?
I think the biggest change is just Coach Addy's approach to practice. Definitely is the biggest change for us. Like I said, he really focuses on the smaller details of everything, and just knowing that if we're messing up practice, that's not gonna it's not gonna fly in games, and really just honing in on the small things and repping until we get it right.
And then I also wanted to ask, I saw, after some of those sacks that you guys made, you were jumping up and celebrating with the coaches. What did that feel like to finally, play well on defense?
It was a great feeling. I mean, statistically on paper, we're supposed to be one of the better, defenses in the nation, honestly, to me. And just really going out there and showing that it felt good.
Ricky, with the performance you and the team had over the weekend, how can y'all use that kind of going into these last 3 games, still with the bowl game kind of ahead, and kind of get that resurgence of the UCF team?
We using it just to really just get that funk off get the funk my tongue keeps twisting. Get the funk off of us. There we go. I'm struggling, but yeah, I mean, the 5-game losing streak's finally snapped. We just gonna use this as momentum just to go into next week and just build off of it.
Ricky, you mentioned, we've been talking about freedom that the D-lines had, yet it seemed like you had the gaps better protected. It was more discipline up front as a result. Does that speak to you guys' experience and intelligence? We talk about freedom, yet you were more disciplined. How did that happen?
That's a great question. It's just, truly just play calling. He puts us in positions to just, go play within the defense and, be dogs and, just let them go. And that's what we did.
I know it was a tough, 5-game stretch there, but when you have a game like that in which both sides played so well, offense and defense complemented each other, how much more confidence do you guys have now? How much is that better, in the locker room and practice, knowing that when you guys, do it, that you're capable of doing it?
I feel like personally, I know that I've always had confidence in the offense, and most of the team, we've always trusted in each other. We were just waiting, for us to go out there and play a complete game, and it finally showed up.
In the film you've watched of Arizona State, what stood out about Cam Scatterbo, the way he's been able to break tackles in particular, and how do you try to avoid the same fate Oklahoma State faced in past weeks?
You just gotta wrap up and tackle, and honestly, you gotta get all hats to the ball because one man can't tackle him. You need all hats.
Ricky, you had a lot of the sacks you guys had came on third downs. How gratifying is that to get a sack when it really stalls their offense and makes them force them to run?
There's a big time plays on third down, and it just goes back to practice. Coach Malzahn, he spent a lot of time with us on defense this week, and just really emphasizes on third down. We probably spent more time in third down than we did have all season.
What's it like having Coach Malzahn on the defense? He spent a lot more time with you guys on defense. What's it like having him on the defensive side, kind of coaching you guys up a little bit?
It's pretty cool. It's another eye. Coach Malzahn, he's been in college football forever. He's a genius. So just bringing his knowledge to our side of the ball really helps us too.
What was your vantage point on the Hail Mary throw at the end of the first half?
I love Randy, man. That was a big time play. That should be ESPN. They still do that ESPN, the top plays. That should be number 1. He caught the ball 5 people.
Big for number 5s everywhere.
Come on now.
Anything else for Ricky? All right, good stuff.
Thanks, Ricky.